You know, when we pray about what to do, Dr. Beam and I spend a lot of time working. Nell and Hughes, we spend a lot of time in prayer. I was in Washington, D.C. last year in October at an event called the Values Voter Summit, and we felt impressed to call on the speaker you're about to hear. You know, he's the author of great books like America the Beautiful and the best-selling One Nation. But Dr. Beam, think about this. Ben Carson was the man to first successfully separate conjoined twins joined at the head.
That's right.
But I believe he's famous for that successful separation of life. Right now, I think God's using him to unite lives. He was given the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2008. For 39 years has been in the medical field and head of pediatric neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins. You've seen him on television. He is saying things that really need to be said. He's a man of great wisdom, great skill. His life reads like a movie script. And aren't we pleased to have him as a closing final speaker at Truth for a New Generation 2014. Please help us welcome Dr. Ben Carson. Go get him.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Candy and I are absolutely delighted to be here with you today. And, you know, we're in lots of different places, speaking lots of different groups, including sometimes in Baptist churches. And, you know, they start 9:30 Sunday morning, and they end on Tuesday. But we're going to do a little bit better than that today. We were just delighted. We've been feel so welcome by the leadership and the staff here. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that help to form, you know, my philosophy and view in this world. And a church is a perfect place for it because the center of my life is Jesus Christ. And I make no apologies for that. And I think it had a lot to do with my chosen profession of medicine. You know, I loved anything that had to do with medicine as a kid. Dr. Kildare, Dr. Casey, that kind of stuff, man, I was there. You know, I used to listen to the mission stories in church, Sabbath school. They frequently featured missionary doctors who seemed to me like the most noble people on earth, traveling all over the world, great personal sacrifice to bring not only physical but mental and spiritual healing to people. And I said, that's what I want to do. So when I was 8 years old, I decided I was going to be a doctor. And that was my dream until I was 13. At which time, having grown up in dire poverty, I decided I'd rather be rich. So at that point, missionary doctor was out and psychiatrist was in. Now, I didn't know any psychiatrists, but they seemed like rich people on TV, you know. They drove Jaguars and they lived in the big fancy mansions and they had the big plush offices and all they had to do was talk to crazy people all day. And it seemed like I was doing that anyway, so I said, this is going to work out extremely well. And I started reading Psychology Today, and I was the local shrink. Everybody brought me their problems in high school. I would sit them down and stroke my chin, say, tell me about your mama. And then I majored in psychology in college, had luminary professors like Anna Freud, the daughter of Sigmund Freud, and just amazing people, and I was gung-ho. But then when I got to medical school, I started meeting a bunch of psychiatrists. Need I say more? But I'm just kidding. Some of my best friends are psychiatrists. But what I discovered very quickly is what psychiatrists do in real life and what they do on TV are two completely different things. what they do in real life is much more important. And they're some of the more intellectual members of the medical community. But also, you know, we get so many of our impressions of what the world is like from television. And that is a very bad place to get your impressions from. And that's why so many of our people are ignorant of what the facts are and what's really going on. And instead, they're easy targets for propaganda.